Well, today we are going to talk about the new DSP quad Cortex, the Fractal Audio FM9 and the Headrush Prime. You may know that I own many modeling units, and I'm also selling preset packs for these units with the best high gain tones ever. So of course, if you would like to get them, please contact me, Facebook or Instagram. Links are in the description below. But I got a couple of questions regarding the high-end units. So in my opinion, these are the newer DSP quad Cortex and the Fractal Audio FM9. And the Headrush Prime is a unit which is not as expensive as the other ones, but it is quite new and also quite relevant, I think. There's also the Kemper, which I own, but I will not discuss the Kemper today because, in my opinion, the Kemper is quite another product because it's more or less tailored to profiling, and also it's older. So, in my opinion, it really can't compete with the other units. But that's just my opinion, of course. And the question which I got most regarding the high-end units is it worth to save money to get maybe the quad Cortex or even the Fractal Audio FM9 or the AxeFx, which is even more expensive? Or should I get the Headrush Prime maybe? And my answer is, in short, is always well, it depends on what you need, which features you prefer on a unit. And today I would like to talk a little bit about the features that are differing from unit to unit. So first of all, the Fractal Audio FM9. I have it here. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe it's there. This is the Fractal Audio FM9, and this is the Headrush Prime. And also, of course, I have the quad Cortex here. So the thing with the FM9 is it has only 9 foot switches. And that is, of course, less than the other units. The quad Cortex has 11, as I count now. And the Prime has 12. Yeah. So, and of course, the FM9 doesn't come with an expression pedal. So you can buy one, like me, like the Mission pedal. But you have to consider this. So if you really need maybe lots of sounds accessible on foot switches at the same time, and you need an expression pedal which is built in, then maybe the FM9 or the quad Cortex, well, they don't offer these features. Of course, the quad Cortex has 11 foot switches, but they're quite narrow to each other. So that might be, for some people, a little bit difficult to use. And yeah, another thing is the tweakability. Or just regarding the foot switches, all of these units, they feature the scenes function, so that you can have different scenes within one preset, where you can have different sets of effects engaged or not. And also, of course, they have the stomp feature that you can turn on selected stomps just with one foot switch. So they are assignable, the foot switches. That's with all of these units. The Fractal Audio FM9 is also, you can assign it in a way that you can change with one foot switch from the scenes mode to maybe the effects mode, which is a stomp mode, and also to the preset mode. So in other words, it is quite flexible, although you need to have a little bit more foot action to come to the desired result. And so that is an obvious difference between these units. The next thing is the screen, or the touch screen, which the Headrush has, which the quad Cortex has, the FM9 doesn't have it. And from my experience, it is really difficult to dial in tones just with the screen and the knobs on the FM9. At least compared to the other units. If you know what you're doing, it is possible, of course. But it's maybe like you did it 15 years ago, just with a knob and then some parameters. As the other units, they come with intuitive screens. The best or the nicest touch screen is the Headrush Prime, I have to say. The newer DSP is something which I personally like a lot, but they have their own symbols for everything, like maybe Apple or something, and they look great, but you have to get familiar with these. As in the Headrush Prime, you have really pictures of your amps, and they can immediately recognize what is what. And that is it. Another thing is the ability to use it for maybe vocals. So the quad Cortex and the Headrush Prime, they come with the microphone preamps, so that you can connect your dynamic or condenser mic to these units and then use it. The Headrush Prime comes even with the auto-tune, Antares auto-tune. If that is important for you, well, it's there. I think all of these units come with looper functions, so I didn't check them out because they're not important for me, but I think they're there. The Fractal Audio FM9 is the unit with the most effects and the most amps, the most cap models, I think, at least at the moment. I didn't count them, but it's what it seems to me. And also the effect quality, it's stellar. I think, it can't get even better than in the FM9. The quad Cortex is on the same level for some effects are not on the same level. I think the amp and cap quality is, I'd say, the same like in the Fractal Audio FM9, if not better. If you know their plugins, which are now also importable into the quad Cortex, that is a huge bonus, I think, for many people. But also if you don't import plugins, the thing has really one of the best cap simulations I know. And it's really easy to get good tones. And that leads me to another point. How difficult are these units to use? And the quad Cortex and also the FM9, they come with desktop editors, of course, which are very intuitive. And with both of these units, it's very easy to get good results. Even in the Fractal Audio, where you have a shitload of amps, like 300 amp models and 2000 something cap IRs, I think, and also cap emulation, where you can just move your microphones around like in the quad Cortex. It's easy to get good tones if you know which amps you like. Most of them, they sound great at stock settings, and in the quad Cortex I never had any problems to get good tones. There are also many captures in that unit. The Headrush Prime is really, not on that level like the other two sound-wise, in my opinion. You can get sounds which are on the same level using amp clones, which I did. So my rigs, which I'm selling in my preset pack, they are using my amp clones. So the unit has the clone function, and you can clone your setup or your plugin or whatever, and then you can get great results, and it sounds almost the same like maybe on the other units. It is possible, but I couldn't get results which are compatible to the other high-end units with the built-in IRs and amps. So to me, they are a little bit old-fashioned regarding the quality, regarding the resolution, and also they're not that dynamic. But remember, if you are getting some decent rigs with using amp clones, then the unit is very flexible, and you can get great results with the Headrush Prime. And of course, you have to consider the price of the Headrush Prime compared maybe to the FM9 or the newer DSP quad Cortex. So sound-wise, yeah, as I said, I would prefer the quad Cortex and the FM9, but yeah, that doesn't mean I would prefer them in all ways. For example, if I would play in a band where I'm only the guitar player, I think I would tend to use the Headrush because it's the best all-in-one package for live usage, most flexible, and I have my FOH tones, rigs and amp clones, which sound fantastic in that unit. And that is enough for me. I don't need 300 different amps. And if you want to experiment a lot with amp parameters and biases and different tubes and so on, regarding that, the FM9 is the clear winner. They really have access to all of these, I think, well, parts of the electronic circuit of amps and maybe stomp boxes, effects. The Mooer GE300 quad Cortex is also very flexible regarding that. Not with all amps, but yeah, some of them. But it's not on the same level like the FM9. The Headrush Prime is basically your modeling unit, you know, maybe from the Line 6s or other brands, where you have your typical amp controls, bass, middle, treble, maybe a master and gain, of course, and then maybe sometimes the things which are accessible on the real amp, like the depth and presence control of the power amp if the real amp has it. But other than that, you don't have access to fancy biases or, I don't know, cathodes, whatever. But I think, at least for me, it's not that important if the unit sounds great. And yeah, that's the case. Another thing which is important for me is that you can clone your rigs, because in some situations it's really nice if you can do this. You can import IRs, third-party IRs in all of these units. But with the FM9 and the, not with the FM9, with the Mooer GE300 quad Cortex and also with the Headrush, you are able to create clones, amp clones, or you can even clone stomp boxes. So it's basically you're taking snapshot of your existing setup, including the amp and the cab, or maybe only including the amp or even only the preamp, and combine that with other parts. That makes these units very flexible because it's, the opportunities are endless. Like with the Kemper, of course, but the Kemper is something where I personally couldn't get great results using when profiling my own things. It improved a lot over the years, but still I got better results using the other units, the Mooer GE300 quad Cortex and the Headrush. So if you want to do this, and believe me, with the Headrush Prime, you have to at least import other rigs if you want to use it to the full potential. Yeah, then, well, the FM9 is maybe, unfortunately, it cannot do this. I'm a lucky owner of the AxeFx III, which has the tone match function. That is basically, at least as far as I know, some kind of EQ matching where you can choose an amp that is similar to the desired sound and then use the tone match block to create an IR that amp and IR together, they sound like your goal sound. That is working with the AxeFx, and I personally found that feature working really well. So also on the same level like maybe with the Headrush Prime or the quad Cortex, I got great results with that. The results are then savable as IRs, and if you do this, you can also export it from the AxeFx and import it in the FM9. So that is working. But if you own only the FM9, as it doesn't have the tone match function, well, you can't do this on your own. So that is maybe a negative point of the FM9. So if someone asks me which which unit to get, it's really hard to answer that out of these three. Because as you can see, it really depends on well, the scenario where you want to use it. All of these units, they're working as audio interfaces, and never had any problems with these. The new DSP quad Cortex comes also with the built-in Wi-Fi module, also the Headrush. But I have to say the one in the Headrush is seems to be more powerful than the one in the quad Cortex. The FM9 doesn't come with that. Also the displays on the well, on the buttons here, they're looking a little bit old-fashioned on the FM9. Given the fact that the FM9 is the most expensive out of these three units, I think it's really maybe they should. Fractal is a great company, and also they supply lots of updates of their software. So somewise it's really great, but I think they should change maybe their appearance, their hardware maybe a little bit, and surely they should change their graphical user interface, which is the biggest negative point for me on that unit. So hope this helps you for your decision, and I'm sure I forgot a lot of things which are important for some people, so feel free to ask me in the comment section. And of course, please consider subscribing to my channel, hit the like button, and see you next time.